Thank you very much for joining us today. If you haven't already, you can follow these on screen directions and open your SPP roadmap folder. You might want to have this folder open in another tab or window to access the documents as we discuss them, or you can follow along with the slides. Thank you again for joining us today to discuss the next step in the continuous improvement process, which is Act 2, Navigating Our Course. This is the second professional learning session in our professional learning series. My name is Jennifer Moore, and my co-presenter is Alberto Rodriguez. We are coordinators in the School Improvement Department, and our director, April Black, is also joining us today. In today's session, we're going to be exploring Act 2, where CI teams evaluate progress to identify any needed course corrections and to share progress updates with the broader school community. We invite you to utilize the note catcher as a place to take notes and write down questions as we progress through the presentation. We will ensure you have your questions answered before you leave here today, and that note catcher is pinned in the chat. So we're going to review our learning intentions for today. We're going to be discussing the responsibilities of the CI team lead and the participation required of the CI team members. You'll know where to access the guidance and resources and how to use these tools to facilitate status check meetings at your school site. By the end of our time together, you're going to be able to explain those responsibilities of the CI team lead and your CI team, access and use the guidance and resources as the CI team lead, and explain the steps to successfully facilitate the status check meetings. As shown by the arrows on this visual representation, this is an ongoing cycle. So notice that there is no end or finish line. And we're going to explore how this cycle of continuous improvement aligns with the CCSD teaching and learning cycle. Both cycles start with opportunities to plan, then time to implement the plan, and regular opportunities to analyze data, monitor progress, and make adjustments to the plan to ensure success. You just finished Act 1, where you developed your SPP for this school year. Using the timeline to look ahead, keep in mind that official summative data will be available to schools by September 15th, 2024, when the Nevada Department of Education releases the Nevada School Performance Framework, which is also known as the NSPF. Additionally, we now have formative data for our currently enrolled students from the fall MAP growth assessments, and Panorama survey data is going to be available at the beginning of October. This new information provides us the opportunity to revisit the SPP roadmap and make adjustments as needed. During the status check meetings, teams will review data along with the improvement strategies and action steps in the roadmap to ensure that there's alignment with the school's needs. As a CI team lead, you're going to facilitate 2 status check meetings during the school year. We have status check 1, which occurs during the months of September or October following the release of the NSPF. And we have status check 2, which will occur in January or February when the budget for the 25-26 school year is released, which represents a new allocation of funding to support the implementation of the continuous improvement plan. Then at the end of the school year, you're going to complete Act 3 and Act 1. So we're now going to take a look at the responsibilities of the continuous improvement team lead and the CI team. As a CI team lead, you're responsible for scheduling and facilitating meetings throughout the school year, preparing data visualizations, distributing tasks to team members, submitting the completed work, and informing and soliciting input from the school community to support the school's continuous improvement efforts. Deliberate and strategic efforts should be made to engage the broader school community in this work. An effort should also be made to share this information with staff members in settings such as staff meetings or those school data dives. And additionally, this can be done in combination with other engagement opportunities, such as a family math and literacy night, open house, SOT meetings, or any other events that bring the school community and stakeholders together. As noted on the SPP roadmap, each school is required to have a CI team that includes a variety of staff and community members who can provide their own unique perspectives on the needs of the school. Please note the required members is listed on this slide, and they're also listed in the SPP roadmap. And then throughout the school year, the CI team will meet regularly to develop, implement, and evaluate the school's continuous improvement efforts as outlined in the school performance plan. The CI team of your school might be a standalone group that focuses only on the CIP, or it could also be an existing leadership team or the school organizational team. Keep in mind that members of the school organizational team must provide input regarding any changes to the SPP roadmap, as well as the approval of the plan of operation per SB 282. It is important to note that if the SOT is serving as a CI team, that FERPA law applies, and only data available on those public sites such as Nevada Report Card and data.ccsd.net or an aggregate or summary of school data can be shared and discussed during the SOT meeting.
So in your role as the CI team lead, connections can be made to the NEPF whether you are a licensed teacher or a school-based administrator. Looking at the teacher professional responsibility standards, Standard 1 is commitment to school community, and Standard 2 on the school administrator instructional leadership standards is creating and sustaining a culture of continuous improvement. By leading this important work, you are creating and sustaining a focus on learning, a culture of continuous improvement, productive relationships, and structures and systems for school improvement. Communication about requirements and due dates for the continuous improvement process will be posted in the CCSD wire. CI team leads will also receive communication from the School Improvement Department email and the coordinator who is a part of your region support team. We offer professional learning sessions before each act of the CIP. Active engagement in the PL will ensure that you have the latest information, tools, and resources to effectively facilitate meetings and successfully navigate through the continuous improvement process. If you are serving as the CI team lead for your school and you are not the principal, we do encourage you to sit down with your principal following the PL you attend to ensure they receive timely information and can support you with your responsibilities. Let's take a moment to reflect on the first success criteria. So what are some of your responsibilities as the CI team lead? We just reviewed a few of those, so if any brave participants want to come off of mute real quick and just provide a quick contribution as to what are some of the responsibilities we expect out of a CI team lead.
Prepare visualizations of data.
Thank you, Jordan. Yep, absolutely. So prior to that CI team meeting, you want to have that data visualized and ready to present to the team.
Communication with principal and SOT.
100%. Yep. Keep that principal in the loop, not just of the new information that you gain, but as we'll mention in a minute, also when you're scheduling meetings. So moving on, our second learning intention is for you to know where to access and how to use the guidance and resources that are available to the CI team lead. All of the guidance, resources, and documents for the continuous improvement process are in the Google Drive in a folder titled SPP Roadmap. As we mentioned at the start of our presentation, access to your SPP Roadmap folder is through your RC Share folder. For those of you who have not accessed your RC Share folder, we will give you a moment to do so now. Once again, if you're having issues accessing that folder, please drop a comment in the chat and we'll do what we can to get you access. Now you will need to access this folder throughout the school year. So to help you locate the folder easily, you might choose to do any of the following. You can add a shortcut to another folder in your drive. You can add the folder to your start files, choose a color for the folder to make it easier to find in a list, or create a bookmark in Google Chrome or any other internet browser. you do want to make it easy to access that document and not have to go hunting around for that folder every time you need it. There are 2 documents that are edited and updated throughout the continuous improvement process. The SPP roadmap is the plan for your school. It is currently either a Google or Word document with a blue icon. The status tracker is a Google spreadsheet with a green icon. This is the document that is completed during the status checks in the fall and winter, when you will monitor the progress of the SPP implementation, and then again at the end of the year when you complete Act 3, reviewing our journey. Always do the CIP work in these existing documents. There is no need to start a brand new SPP roadmap document each school year. Also, please do not make copies of these documents. If you'd like a copy to, for instance, pass out to CIT members, you can download a PDF and print those out so that there is just one editable document in that folder. In each SPP roadmap folder, there is a shortcut to the guidance and resources document. Go ahead and please open that document now. And this document, I don't think I exaggerate by saying it will be your best friend throughout this continuous improvement process. It is a one-stop shop for all of your resources and documents. So if you'll go ahead and open that up. It does contain every resource available to help you successfully guide your CI team, and we are going to explore this document more closely. Due dates are identified throughout this document by the calendar icon. You also have the option to add all of the due dates to your Google Calendar by clicking the link in the upper left corner. A CI team meeting should be scheduled for each act and status check of the CIP. Note that the work for Act 3 and Act 1 may be completed in the same meeting. This means the CI team should meet a minimum of 3 to 4 times per school year. 3 times if you combine your Act 3 and Act 1 meetings, and then 4 times if you hold those meetings separately. It is recommended that all of the CI team meetings be scheduled early in the school year so everyone involved can be prepared and ready to engage in those team discussions. The next CI team meeting for this school year will be for Status Check 1. This meeting should be scheduled to occur after the NSPF is released and with sufficient time to submit the status check work by October 11th, 2024. While a due date for the CIP work is listed, submission forms may be turned in at any time once the work is completed. You do not need to wait until the due date in order to submit those forms. We will pause for you to add those due dates to your calendar if you wish. And we'd like you to keep in mind that if you are not the school principal, please seek out your principal's input when scheduling these meetings to ensure there's not going to be any conflict with already pre-existing events. So right now we're going to focus on the section of the document titled Responsible Party. Notice that the principal and the CI team lead, the school improvement department, and region leadership all have responsibilities throughout the continuous improvement process. The paper pencil icon throughout this document leads to additional resources for each CIP act. You can click the links to access the resources listed. And we are going to take a little closer look at these resources for Act 2 in just a few minutes. So right now, let's take a moment to reflect on the second success criteria, and using the thumbs up or thumbs down emoji so nobody has to come off mute. Go ahead and indicate for us if you know where to access the guidance and resources document. And of course, that document is linked in your SPP roadmap folder. Awesome.
So right now we're going to focus on our final learning intention, and we're going to review how to facilitate those status check meetings. The purpose of a status check meeting is for the CI team to engage in discussions to understand the progress, quality, and impact of those improvement strategies, to use data to monitor progress towards your school goals, to identify challenges that are impeding the progress, to make decisions on key actions, clarify next steps and needs, and also to update the SPP roadmap based on decisions made during the status check meeting. There are specific steps that should be completed before, during, and after each status check meeting. Before the status check meeting, the CI team lead must prepare for data-driven conversations, and that would include assigning roles to team members. Then during the meeting, there are tasks that should be completed to help you review data and gather input from the CI team to further develop the plan for the school year. And finally, after the status check meeting, there's specific requirements to submit the completed work and to display and share the information with your school community. And these steps will ensure that the status check meeting is productive, data focused, and that results from the meeting are captured in your status tracker and also in your SPP roadmap. These steps are detailed in the Act 2 directions within the Guidance and Resources document. If you don't already have the Act 2 directions open, please do so now so that you can access the resources that are linked as I'm going through them. The first step is to ensure your status tracker has been set up and is ready for the information that you're going to be entering during your status check meetings. The Act 2 directions take you through this process step by step, and this initial setup occurs in the Master Sheet tab of the status tracker. The sheets for previous year's status trackers are hidden, but they can still be viewed by clicking the 3 lines. And the new tabs in the status tracker for this school year are already available. Keep in mind that your status tracker is actually a spreadsheet document, and the top portion of the master sheet contains some important directions to keep the formatting of the tracker intact. Every tab of the tracker contains yellow and white fields, and you're only typing or copying and pasting into the yellow fields of your tracker. When you're typing into a yellow field, that information is going to automatically populate into the corresponding white fields of the other tabs, and this feature prevents you from having to re-enter the same information in each tab. If the tracker formatting is a struggle or is accidentally altered, please reach out to us. We have no problem in assisting you with reformatting your tracker. We know that it can sometimes be frustrating. We are here to support. It happens all the time, and we live in this world, so it's really easy for us to reformat it. The yellow fields with arrows such as these do indicate a drop-down menu that you can click on to select a response. So just make sure to please address all of the necessary components so that we know that the work is complete and that you saw all of the components. We try not to leave any boxes blank.
So the next step in the directions involves preparing data visualizations. Before the CI team meeting, relevant data should be gathered, analyzed, and visualized to help guide the discussion. This data should be related to the implementation and outcome data of each goal and improvement strategy. To understand what data to collect and visualize, you can start by looking at the goals and improvement strategies in the SPP roadmap. While schools can choose whatever format they decide is most appropriate for their data and their audience, an Act 2 data slide deck template is available for you to use if you like. Once you have completed these steps, you are ready to engage in the meeting with your CI team. Several optional resources are provided to assist you as you conduct the meeting. While schools are not obligated to use the agenda and sign-in sheet templates linked in the directions, please be sure to somehow document your meeting and upload those forms into the evidence folder in your SPP roadmap folder. One of the resources is the Act 2 facilitation video. This can be used to lead the meeting, and it precludes you from having to remember the various talking points when guiding the status check meeting. The NDE Padlet also has additional resources related to specific aspects of the continuous improvement process. Another resource is the Now Next Need document. It not only provides questions to help guide your team's discussion, but also provides a place to record outcomes and decisions for each inquiry area of the SPP roadmap. The Now Next Need protocol aligns with the questions in the status tracker.
The Now questions will focus your team's attention on the current reality and progress being made towards your SPP roadmap goals. You're going to discuss any challenges impeding that implementation. Improvement strategies being fully implemented with positive results will be labeled as strong. Strategies that have only been partially implemented or have inconclusive or inconsistent results are going to be labeled as at risk. And improvement strategies that have not been implemented or are not yielding any positive results are going to be labeled as needs immediate attention. After discussing the current results, you're going to move into the next guiding questions to decide what actions need to be taken to address the challenges and performance gaps. And the need guiding questions will focus on the efforts necessary to implement the actions discussed while considering the next questions. An additional resource to assist you with guiding and capturing team discussions is the Guiding Questions for Data Analysis document. It can also act as a note catcher. And the CIP team roll cards are a resource that can be used to ensure the shared responsibility and collective engagement during meetings. And now Alberto is going to review the final steps in the Act 2 directions.
Thank you, Jen. So step 4 is completing the tracker. You're going to rate each improvement strategy and summarize the conversation on the appropriate status check tab. You will update and revise the SPP roadmap based on what you entered into the tracker. These SPP revisions can be done during the status check meeting or after the meeting takes place. SPP roadmaps were approved by region supervisors over the summer. As a reminder, Nevada law states that changes to the plan must be approved. The SPP roadmap is a living document that can be updated as needed throughout the year. Small changes that don't alter the general intent of the plan do not require reapproval. However, if significant changes are made to the SPP roadmap, it must be approved again by the region supervisor. On the submission form, you will indicate whether any of the following significant changes have been made to the SPP roadmap since the last approval in July or August. The focus of the goals has changed. Improvement strategies or action steps have been removed or replaced, or the purpose for which funding is used has changed. If any of these boxes are checked in the submission form, region leadership will be notified that approval is needed. Yes, April.
Thank you, Alberto. I don't want to just interrupt, but we had a really good question today from a principal, so I just want to share it with this group. When you have your NSPF data, your summative data, you have your school rating report, if that data changes the baseline or your goal in your SPP, that does not require reapproval. But for example, we had a school that thought that their chronic absenteeism was going to end up much higher than where it ended. So they want to make an adjustment just to the numbers in their goal. They're not going to change their improvement strategy. They're not going to change their action steps. That does not need to be reapproved. But if they had decided, oh, well, we don't really need to focus on chronic absenteeism, we're going to instead look at our panorama survey results and focus on an area there, that's changing the goal, changing the data, changing the improvement strategies and action steps that would need to be reapproved.
So step 6 on the Act 2 directions outlines tasks that need to be completed after each status check meeting. Notice that there are 2 sections, one for each status check. First, we will focus on the left side of the directions for status check 1. You will notice that there are 2 submission forms to be completed. The first submission form lets us know that the status check meeting occurred, and the second submission form lets us know that the updated information has been presented in a public meeting and has been posted on the school's website. So do please make sure that any documents related to that submission have been posted to your website, because part of our process is to go to your website and verify that those documents are there. So you do want to make sure they're appearing on your website before you turn in that form. The right side of step 6 focuses on status check 2 and the school plan of operation. There are also 2 Google Forms to submit for status check 2. Keep in mind, the plan of operation consists of 3 separate documents: the status check 2 document, the updated SPP roadmap, and the 2025-2026 strategic budget. The SOT must provide input and, new this year per SB 282, must approve the plan of operation before it is submitted for district approval. After school supervisor approval, all 3 documents should be posted to your school's website, and the website submission form should be completed and turned in. Speaking of the plan of operation, this summer school principals attended professional learning sessions to understand the shift from individual site-based accreditation to system-wide accreditation. During these sessions, it was emphasized that accreditation work is embedded in the continuous improvement process. School teams will complete a self-assessment of 30 Cognitive standards to identify areas of excellence, improvement, and challenges, as data is analyzed in 3 key areas: student performance, stakeholder perception, and the learning environment. If appropriate, areas of excellence and improvement from the Cognitive self-assessment can be documented in the SPP roadmap in the areas of strength and growth. The steps the school will take to address the areas for improvement can be captured in the action steps. The timeline for system accreditation aligns with status check 2 and the school plan of operation. However, if you have already completed the self-assessment, you can feel free to include the outcomes during your status check 1. As a support to schools, a resource was developed to suggest where a school might find alignment between the Cognitive standards and the inquiry areas of the SPP roadmap. This resource has been added to the guidance and resources document for your convenience. Please note that school teams have the flexibility to determine which inquiry area they feel best aligns with the identified areas of need. If you have any questions or need additional assistance regarding system accreditation, the guidance is linked on your note catcher with the contact information for the director of the System Accreditation Department. So as our final check for understanding today, let's go back to our menti.com website. We're going to ask that you consider the steps that need to be taken in order to conduct a successful status check meeting. You're going to drag each step to the area at the top in the order in which they should occur during Act 2. And since you do have them open, this is an open book test, and you can feel free to use those Act 2 directions to assist you in this task. And we've kind of gotten you started by providing you with the correct first step of preparing the master sheet in the status tracker. So go ahead and put those steps in order, and we'll see how these responses come in. All right, thanks for that participation, everybody. As a reminder, to assist you with staying on track, you can locate the checklist for Act 2 in the guidance and resources document beginning on page 2. And that is a nice little resource to help you keep all of those different steps in order. As we close our session today, let's take a look at our learning intentions and the success criteria. Today, we reviewed the responsibilities of the CI team and the CI team lead, the guidance and resources that are available to the CI team lead, and the steps to facilitate a status check meeting. Support from the School Improvement Department is available. Please reach out by completing a SID support request form if needed. This form is linked at the end of the directions for each act. You can also scan the QR code on your screen to access that form. Please remember, we are here to help, and we are happy to assist in any way we can. You can also directly contact the coordinator assigned to your region or call the School Improvement Department directly. Contact information is again on your screen. And we do have coordinators assigned to each area. Our non-region schools Any one of us might step in to assist you until we get somebody in place for you guys. So don't worry, we've got you covered. But we do want to thank you for your time, which we know is precious, and your attention during this session. And we appreciate everyone's continuous improvement efforts. Thanks so much, everybody. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.